Mistake number 1. No financial plan. If you don't have a financial plan, you have no roadmap for your cash. Imagine walking. Yeah, walking. No goal, no purpose, you're just walking. Guess what? After a while, you'll be tired of walking, and you'll have nothing accomplished. What's the solution? Take out a map and start looking for a destination. It's the same with your money. You can't just make and spend money. If you have no plan, trust me, you're not going to save or control your spending. We live in a fast-paced world, and be honest here, you love spending money. I do too. I love cool stuff, but there's a limit to what you can and what you can't afford. If you make a plan, you'll be able to tell what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. Don't wing your finances. You won't grow. You'll stay where you are forever. Remove that paycheck-to-paycheck mentality right now. Mistake number 2. Counting pennies to make a million. There's so much bad financial advice online. I know how you feel. You don't know who you should listen to anymore. There are people that say you should spend money carelessly and focus on increasing your income so that you can actually spend more. On the other hand, there are people that say that you should save as much as physically possible. According to common wisdom, you should count every penny that you spend. Even that nice warm coffee you have in the morning. They would cut it out to save a few dollars here and there. This won't help you grow. Money has many purposes, and one of them is pleasure and freedom. By saving a couple of dollars, you aren't getting closer to your goals. You should find a middle ground between free spending and extreme saving. Just eliminate all bad spending, such as subscriptions that you don't need, entertainment that wastes too much of your time, and related. Mistake number 3. Not having money goals. This is related to your financial plan. Your financial plan also needs goals. There are 3 requirements for goals. It should be described in detail. It should have a number attached. It needs a deadline. First, you need to describe your financial goal in as much detail as possible. This means how you're going to achieve what you want to achieve, possible challenges that you might encounter along the way, and so on. Then, you need a number attached to it. This is not just for money, which is obviously what we're talking about, but also any other goal that you set. Do you want to lose weight? Okay, how much? You want to have more friends? Okay, but how many? Finally, you need a deadline. This is useful because it gives you the necessary perspective to manage your workload and check if the goal is actually realistically achievable. By assigning a deadline to your goal, you'll be able to estimate how much time will be required to achieve it. For example, in order to make $100,000 this year, I would need to make about $8,300 monthly. That means $2,083 a week. Can you do that? If not, reevaluate your goal. See how this makes sense? The takeaway here is to stop setting random goals with no merit and strategy. You won't achieve them. Instead, use this system. You won't be sorry. Before we continue, I'd like to know, are you getting any value so far? If you are, kindly like this video, and if you're new, welcome, and go ahead and click subscribe. Done? Good. Let's move on. Mistake number 4. Not watching your credit score. Especially when you're young, you tend to lose focus on the long-term consequences of what you do. Always pay your credit card bills on time. This is very important for your credit score, which you should work on as much as possible. Your credit score is basically your credibility when you might one day ask for a mortgage or a loan to start or acquire a business. Not watching your credit score is a mistake that you won't feel immediately, but when you do, it will be very, very frustrating. Mistake number 5. Not saving. You need to save that money if you want to grow. And not just that, savings will also prove useful when times eventually get tough. I mean, the coronavirus pandemic has proven one thing to everyone. Cash is king. You definitely don't want to be caught off guard, like millions of people around the world did, and not have money when you're going to be laid off because of a worldwide pandemic. If you don't have any cash aside, you'll be in big trouble. That extra cash gives you peace of mind. The benchmark to invest is usually $10,000. So when you have more than $10,000 saved, you should also be able to start investing. It should take you several months, maybe a couple of years depending on your income and situation, to save up 10 grand. Mistake number 6. Impulse shopping. This one is a huge problem, especially if you are, for example, grocery shopping. A good idea of what you need or even a shopping list is incredibly good at keeping you disciplined. If you don't have any of these things, you'll probably end up buying a lot of things that you don't need or that will even be bad for you, like sweets and unhealthy food. The temptation is just too big, and this can also have some consequences on your spending. This is stuff that you seriously don't need in your life and that you'd honestly be better off without. When it comes to impulsive spending in general, this is an issue to be addressed. You can't buy something just because you like it. Has this ever happened to you? You go out, you see something nice, and you buy it. You feel good about it until you get home and analyze what you've done during the day. You come across whatever thing you bought and say to yours, okay, that was expensive, I don't really need that. You need to stop that. Only spend money when you know you need the thing, or when you can confidently afford it. Here's a tip. Before making any big purchase, sleep on it. Mistake 7. Thinking you can afford it all. You obviously can't, but here's what I mean. Just because you can afford something, it doesn't mean that you can actually afford it. Hear me out. If buying something means ruining you financially, maybe you can't afford it right now. A good rule is the following. If you can't buy it 3 times over, then you can't afford it. It's a good one, but you obviously can't apply this to everything, especially if you have a fixed income. So a better rule is to be clever about your spending. Buy things if you actually need them, and always keep a fixed percentage of your income free. This obviously changes based on your income, lifestyle, location, and so on. Mistake number 8. You don't diversify your income. I know many gurus online tell you that you need multiple sources of income. That's not exactly what I'm saying. You don't need 10 income sources, but depending on just one doesn't feel very responsible to me, honestly. To reduce risk, you need at least a couple. But here's the thing. This is easier to do than you think. Nowadays, it's so easy to get a part-time gig, find clients as a freelancer, and so on. And all these things might be in an industry that you already know, doing something you're already good at or that you really like. It's very common that regular employees go from dependent workers to freelancers that make multiple 6 figures a year. It's amazing what the internet can do today. So, no excuses. Work on it and don't miss out on the opportunities available to you. Mistake number 9. You spend more than you make. This is pretty much self-explanatory. Don't pump up your credit card unless you really need it. A credit card is meant to help you during emergencies, not buy you a Louis Vuitton bag. Also, you probably could live happily and still spend less than you make, which would give you some saving space. Mistake number 10. Wasting your free time. I can already hear you asking what this has to do with anything, but the answer is everything. So many people complain that they can't take on a part-time gig, but in reality, they're just wasting their time. They could do it, they just don't, because they don't manage their time as they should. If you actually want to grow, there's some commitment and sacrifice needed. Remember, in order to grow, you need to sacrifice. It just goes to show that everything has a price. If you want to grow your income, you might need to sacrifice a few nights out. In the end, it'll be worth it, trust me. There are countless stories of people who started as part-time entrepreneurs or freelancers, and then started making serious money, quit their jobs, and became full-time entrepreneurs. So what's stopping you from being one of them? Mistake number 11. Not negotiating. Remember, if you don't ask, you won't get it. Whether it's your salary for a new job or your raise, you need to negotiate. If you don't, you'll definitely not get what you could otherwise get. Let's say your future boss wants to pay you $15 an hour. Why not ask for $25? Maybe he'll refuse the $25 and give you $20, but it's still more than what you would have got if you just complied. Try negotiating. It does wonders, especially after you practice a couple of times. Mistake number 12. Being too nice with people. I'm talking about lending money to friends and family when you can't afford it. I'm not telling you to be greedy and keep everything for yourself only, but be careful. There are so many compassionate people that always pay for others, even if they can't afford it. Control yourself. You don't need to offer anyone anything. Focus on your income before you help others with theirs. Mistake number 13. Not having an emergency fund. Not having an emergency fund is so common in the US. Most people wouldn't be able to survive 3 months without an income. That's not good. You need to have the security that you'll do just fine, even without a job or an income of any kind. You never know what will happen tomorrow. Let COVID be a lesson learned. Mistake number 14. Not optimizing your taxes. Figure out your taxes. You can do this by yourself, or you can hire an accountant to help you with this. There are so many ways to pay less of them, which would really help you save more money and grow sooner. Mistake number 15. Not switching expensive services. This is another extremely common one. Too many people are loyal to certain service providers, things like gas and the internet. Their prices have gone up, and the quality has gone down. You didn't really notice because it happened very gradually, but you've been with them for years. It just feels right to stay with them. Well, there might be better, more competitive alternatives that could help you save some serious money, more than you expect. Just look them out. Now you should watch this, Elon Musk's advice on how to get rich, and this, signs you're poor and how to fix it. Well folks, thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't already, do give this video a thumbs up. With that said, have a good one you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.